cultures for eons, right?
Yeah, so the origin of it, they found it, there's a legend surrounding, a porcupine that found it was gnawing on a tree, and then the shaman, came and brought it home to his wife to cook, and the wife ate the porcupine and just started tripping out and have this intense visions and encounters with deities and understanding, truth about things in a way that was never possible. And the shaman goes back to his wife. She's like, holy shit, what's going on here? And then so, they look back where they trapped the porcupine, and it was eating the bark of this particular tree. And the tree was the Iboga tree, which grows in Gabon in Africa. And so the shaman took it, got it directly from the source, and started using the medicine. And the Iboga tradition was born, which is where the main shamanic tradition is. And part of the shamanic tradition that I went to go see down in Costa Rica, I went to see a gentleman who was a 10th generation Bwiti shaman straight out of Gabon. So wow. That's where it was initially founded. And then it gets a lot more press actually for its kind of drug rehab use. There's a lot of clinics for rehabilitation for like heroin addicts and different people like that. And they generally isolate the alkaloid Ibogaine out of the Iboga root when they do that. So it's not quite the same as what we did. We did a partial extraction, so it was like half Ibogaine, but still had a lot of the full alkaloids of the Iboga root. But the clinics, they just focus on the Ibogaine and have a amazingly high success rate with detox situations. And I actually saw a gentleman down there at the Iboga house where I went who showed up addicted to heroin and then just had a harrowing, brutal, like 3.5 day Iboga session and came out, and he was on top of the world. I mean, really.
Wow.
Obviously, is it a mold? What is the
no? It's actually it's a bark.
Yeah, but what is the actual ingredients or the medicine side of that's making it?
Yeah, it's an alkaloid actually. So it's the Ibogaine alkaloid is the main alkaloid, and that alkaloid is found in the bark and in the roots of this particular tree that has this weird pepper-shaped fruit that grows on it.
So what is it doing to you?
Yeah, well, it's the interesting thing about Iboga that separates it from everything else, and I'll tell my full experience as well, but the Iboga shamans and the way they talk about it is completely different than the ayahuasca shamans. Ayahuasca shamans talk about going farther. Everything is about exploring other dimensions, going beyond and bringing back information from those dimensions. And the Bwiti shamans, they talk about going deeper, like going farther inside yourself, because inside of you is a soul that has access to infinite knowledge. So you can actually go inside yourself and find out the truth to virtually anything without having to go outside. So it's a whole different kind of paradigm that it has.
Holy shit.
And I mean, as we'll get into my story, the lucidity on Iboga is unreal, like nothing you've ever experienced. It's almost like ayahuasca when you're going farther and trying to get information from these other dimensions. There's a translation issue. So sometimes it smashes against your perception and all you see are webs and colors and figures and spirit teachers and weird shit because you can't understand the information from beyond. But Iboga, it's like yourself talking to you. It's like the best version of you just telling you what the fuck is up. And you're like, and there's like no translation issue.
Inner voice? Is it
it's
the inner
like
voice
that, but it's like the ruthless inner voice of truth.
Wow.
Like you just can't fudge with it. There's no even arguing. Like there's some things that are uncomfortable to think about. Like you don't want to look at them, and it'll just be like, stop bullshitting. It's just ruthless. I mean, it's been compared to dealing with your stern father. Well, that's not a paradigm that I use because that wasn't just how I grew up. But I think for a lot of people, that kind of voice of reason that's just, not letting you slide and not letting you slack on anything comes in. And that's really what you experience on the Iboga.
Would you do it again, or would you be scared of it?
Fuck yeah, I would do it again. But
wow,
it's only because of the amazing gains that you get. I mean, it's a ridiculously brutal experience. And I guess I might as well just kind of get you guys into the story to tell about all the physical downside of it. But it's rough. I mean, you're nauseous as fuck. You're dizzy. You can't walk. You can't hardly drink water for, 24 hours. You're on it forever. It is not comfortable and not fun. And it's like, it's intense. But that access to truth, if you're trying to figure something out, unparalleled. And that's kind of, you know, it's funny. The shaman's he's very kind of straightforward, and he talks to you like a normal, like most of these good shamans do. They're not like pseudo spiritual.
Right.
You know, they're not trying to create an aura of mysticism.
Right. Yeah.
They're joking with you more than anybody. They're lighthearted. So I'll tell you how it kind of goes about.